impressive stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank Bryce Beard for the incredible truck film footage there. We've just finished making our very own TV series called Top Country, ladies and gentlemen. We know how hard it is to film a moving truck. So really well done. Must have had the eye in the sky up there for a few of those shots. So it's very impressive and quite outstanding when you see how amazing and how many trucks are out there on quite incredible roads in this country. Not quite as dangerous as some of the roads we see overseas on TV, but nonetheless quite breathtaking to see all of that footage. So well done. Ladies and gentlemen, the industry appreciates the need to acknowledge, recognise and celebrate excellence in a highly skilled profession. And I think we need to have that in fairly big brackets after today, you know, finding out about the need for a much bigger and wider education for young drivers. We'd really support that in a big way. Through the Road Transport Forum New Zealand, inaugural New Zealand Truck Driving Championship. From a pool of over 24,000 truck drivers and progressing through 5 regional heats and company championships to make it to the grand final and become New Zealand's supreme truck driver. We'd like to ask the sponsor of the New Zealand Truck Driving Championship Competition Awards, the CEO of TR Group, Andrew Carpenter, to the lectern.
Good evening. Shortly after TR Group committed to sponsoring the Driver of the Year competition, I received a call from a distant relative to tell me about the Driver of the Year trophy from 1966. It was won by his late uncle, a colourful character by the name of Ken Carpenter. My relative was well familiar with the trophy, having been told by his uncle Ken on many occasions to keep his grubby little biscuit pinchers off the truck. It didn't work because the truck got played with and mistreated all the same by the young boy and his other cousins. This is a picture of Ken and his trophy. It's a solid metal replica of a Leyland 8x4 tipper with tilting cab and body. The inscription says National Trucking Contest 1966, organised by Newland JC's winner of Class 1 flat top general wagon or tanker, K. Carpenter. It was won at what I understand to be the first Driver of the Year competition, held at the Newland Shopping Centre in Auckland. Apparently there was a very large crowd and it was a very tense occasion. Kids were lined up along behind or underneath the temporary roped off fence. The Driver of the Year competition carried on through the years. I remember as a teenager watching in the 1980s the driver competition at the Tui Dairy Factory in Paihetoa. It then disappeared for a while, somewhere in the late 80s or the 90s, maybe the early 1990s. And we've not had one for over 20 years until now, 2015. Drivers are very important to both TR and our customers, which has motivated us to assist with getting the competition back on its feet. Trucks are getting more and more expensive, and getting the best from such big investments is good for everyone. For us, we identify the driver as the person with the single biggest influence on the truck's performance and the overall experience with the truck through its life. Because of this, we have put more and more emphasis on supporting the drivers of the vehicles that we supply to help them get the best from the vehicle. More obvious things that a driver will influence are fuel consumption, maintenance, tyres and safety. Good drivers, however, can also play a role in a truck's utilisation, customer relations and the overall culture among drivers. Collectively, we often comment that drivers should get better recognised for the exceptional job that they do. And in these times when it's hard to find drivers, and especially good ones, it seems like a good idea to recognise the best. TR Group, which now includes Master Drive Services, have put forward $25,000 for each of the next 3 years to support the return of New Zealand's Driver of the Year competition, including $10,000 for the overall winner. We hope to return some prestige to the status of the Driver of the Year, and that the winner might still be recognised in 50 years' time in the way that we have Ken Carpenter tonight. Please encourage your drivers to consider entering the competition next year. We aim to make it bigger and better as each year goes by. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew, we're just going to ask you to remain on stage because we'll be presenting some awards and some acknowledgements. We would also request that Mr. Don Wilson of On Road Trucking, who has the role of Chief Adjudicator, a hard job obviously, of the New Zealand Truck Driving Championship, to join Andrew on stage. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The finalists here tonight are all winners to us. Just to get in the finalist, a great achievement. And tonight we're going to present all the finalists with a champion driver's vest, a complimentary subscription to the New Zealand Trucking magazine, and a Parts Trader Craft brew pack. As I call your name, can you please come forward? Campbell Murdoch of Murdoch Transport. Braden Jones of Vernon Transport. Ash Erickson of Road Transport Logistics. And the first girl for the night, ladies and gentlemen, Angela Catamol from Movement Limited. Kyle Bryan from New Zealand Express. Dave Ching from H.W. Richardson Group, Allied Concrete.
Just keep going, Glenn, just keep going.
Darren Wilson from H.W. Richardson Group, Allied Concrete. A couple of good drivers in that company, ladies and gentlemen. Carl Bowes from TSI Logistics. Bruce Scott from Emerson Transport. John Bailey from Bailey's Transport Limited. Pete Harrison from Fulton Hogan. Jamie Lim Rock from Transliquid. David Amer from ProTrans. Matthew Jackson from Ben Allen Transport. Simon Reed from S. Reed Transport. Brad Lloyd from West Otago Transport Limited. Jared Pye from Fonterra. Regan Brown from H.W. Richardson Group Freight Haulage. And Trevor McDowell from H.W. Richardson Group Purdue Brothers Limited.
What a lineup.
That's your finalists tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a big hand, all the boys and the one girl in the finals tonight.
So, ladies and gentlemen, these are the young, outstanding truck drivers that we're churning out in this country, and by God, we're proud of it. Look at the way they're dressed. They've gone all out, ladies and gentlemen. No black singlets in that mob there, I tell you right now. However, ladies and gentlemen, these are just an acknowledgement of the finalists. There are some big awards that will be held tonight, big prizes that will be given out. So please, as we present our finalists, we will take a photo of you guys because we want your beautiful
We're just going to get them together very close there, ladies and gentlemen. Get a photo That's the way. Just take a moment there, have a good look at them. Handsome looking mob of boys and a very beautiful young woman.
Where's the girl? Where's the girl? Is she there?
I don't know.
Okay, are they going to give them their awards? No. No, they'll all get there because we're going into here now. We're going to ask them from
Just keep an eye on the thing.
Linda, they should have been given their award as they came on and it didn't happen.
There is no award. They're presented with the best later on.
Okay. Thank you very much. That precedes our photo, and as our finalists have been acknowledged as they come down off the stage, we'd like to present them with their jackets, and we would also like to ask Mr. Don Wilson to say a few words as this happens, to talk about the competition and how hard it was to judge it, probably. Thank you, Don.
Good evening, everybody. It's been great to see the driving comp back in the conference program. Having competed in some of the finals back in the 80s, when we had old fellas like Craig Turner putting in the effort to get things organised, I felt it was the right thing to put my hand up and help and support the competition. As an industry, we seem to attract a fair bit of negative publicity, and I feel anything we can do to help turn that around has to be a positive move. By putting the skill and knowledge required to be a professional driver to the public must help the industry we're all involved in. For those of you that didn't make it to the contest on Thursday, you're missing a very high standard of driving on display. Here's a quick rundown on what they had to do. All competitors were required to complete a theory test with 60 multiple choice questions with a total value of 300 points. Darren Wilson did a great job in that part, and he got 58 out of 60, you know, and he needs to be commended for that. Did a really, really good effort. All competitors were required to do a level 3 pre-trip inspection to locate 15 manufactured faults on a display vehicle, and 4 of the guys managed to find all of them, as well as a few extras. So they did a great job too. Class 2 and 3, 4 drivers had a 6-minute course to complete with a practical driving challenge and for a maximum of 300 points. And one of these competitors was only 18 and showed the potential that he has for the future. So he did very, very good. Class 5 drivers then had a 10 minutes to complete their practical course for a maximum of 600 points. If any competitors failed to stay within the course, it led to automatic disqualification, and I'm happy to say nobody cocked it up. In the tractor semi section, Jamie Lee Yock showed some very smooth and professional driving, and he needs to, you know, Greg, you need to be proud of that young fella. This was a very close competition with only 4 points separating the top 2 drivers, you know, so it just goes to show that there's some pretty good guys out there, and the level of things is pretty good. In the truck and trailer section, Dave Armour, you know, we had a few technical issues for a start, but then he showed that, you know, nothing's a problem. He got out there and did a great job as well. All the competitors and their employees, or employers I should say, can be proud of the high standard of professionalism that they showed to each other and the judges and volunteers on the day. This brings me to acknowledge the work that went into the regionals by the various associations, volunteers and sponsors. Grant and Paula from National Road Carriers, Charlene and Keith from Region 2, Sandy and Tom from Region 3, Simon and Dave, Region 4, Alan from Region 5. Also, Mark Nardawiri from the Forum, you know, he was the one that was behind all this here on Thursday, you know, did a bloody great job. Last but not least, to the sponsors. A huge thanks to Mr. Carpenter and the TR Group and MasterDrive for the equipment that they supplied not only to the regionals but to the finals. and for the commitment that they have shown for the next 3 years. E-Road as well for sponsoring the Young Driver of the Year. To all the other sponsors at the regional and the finals, we are grateful for all your support. If you could all show your appreciation to the sponsors and competitors and a round of applause. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Don. Of course, Don and Andrew will stay on stage and present our major prizes tonight. So thank you for that.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. All our winners will take home mementos of their success tonight. And the first award, ladies and gentlemen, the New Zealand Truck Driving Championship, is the New Zealand Rigid Class 2 Truck Driver of the Year 2015. And the winner is Campbell Murdoch from Murdoch Transport. Well done, young man. Thank you. Our second major prize of the award tonight is the New Zealand Rigid Class 3 and 4 Truck Driver of the Year 2015. And the winner is Braden Jones of Vernon Transport. There you go, the judge is getting friendly now. I bet it was hard yakka on the day when they were going through their test. Award number 3, the New Zealand Combination Truck Trailer Driver of the Year for 2015 goes to Regan Brown from H.W. Richardson Group Freight Haulage Limited. Our fourth award is the New Zealand Combination Tractor Semi Driver of the Year for 2015, and the winner is John Bailey, Bailey Transport Limited. There you go, here comes John, comes to the stage. The old bugger can stroll drive, eh? He would have had a good set of hair like that young fella who came up in the category too, ladies and gentlemen, sometime back in his heyday. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we go on to announce the 2 final and major awards for the New Zealand Truck Driving Championships. The first major award is the E-Road New Zealand Young Truck Driver of the Year for 2015. To be eligible to compete for this award, contestants must have had their 25th birthday fall no later than the 1st of July on the year that the New Zealand Truck Driving Championships is held. Like many other occupation groups, road transport has an ageing workforce. It is imperative that we recruit more younger drivers and establish career paths for school leavers within our industry. Tonight's winner will receive a cheque for $1,500 and will be the holder of the Young Driver of the Year Perpetual Trophy
for 12 months. I'd like to ask John Collins from E-Road South Island, the manager of the regional manager, to the stage to present the E-Road New Zealand Young Truck Driver of the Year for 2015.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. E-Road's privileged to sponsor this award tonight. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the effort of the RTF and the associations that come under that umbrella, and the other commercial partners and all the volunteers for getting this initiative off the ground. I think it's really well done, so thank you. Everybody in the room knows that E-Road does compliance, but a major focus for us has been driver behaviour as well, and it's about how we work with operators to help them manage one of their most important assets, their staff. Quite timely then at this conference we've been able to release our driver leaderboard and our Drive Buddy on our Generation 2 unit and announce the partnership we've got with NZI Lumley, which I'm sure Ian will tell you more about tomorrow in his presentation. Congratulations to the candidates in this finalist in this category. Wish them well for the future, and it's really good to see these young drivers entering the industry. It's been well documented about driver shortage and we need more of them, so well done. So I'll now pass you back to announce the winner.
Thanks, John. Just stick around and you can present that award. Tonight's winner of the E-Road New Zealand Young Truck Driver of the Year is Campbell Murdoch of Murdoch Transport. I'm just going to ask now if Campbell would like to come to the lectern to say a few words. Because he's a leader in his own field now, and hopefully he'll inspire some other young drivers out there. So please welcome to the lectern our winner of the Young Driver of the Year, Campbell Murdoch.
Didn't make a speech, but I'll be able to find something. Just got to thank the old man, really, you know. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him, you know. He taught me all I knew about driving, you know, like started about 7 years old, we were in the yard, you know, and trying to teach me how to back a trailer, and you'd get about half a metre and be right hand down, and I'd do left hand down and jackknife, and then I'd go inside sulking because I couldn't back it, and then, you know, the next day I'd get a little bit further backwards, and then, you know, eventually, you know, sort of that's how you learn to drive, you know. But, yeah, no, if it wasn't for him, he taught me everything I know, so I've got to thank him, and better thank Mum as well. And but, thanks to the Road Transport Association, and, so thanks to everyone that helped organise the events, regionals and the finals, and thank you very much, guys.
Congratulations, young man. Here we go. As Campbell heads off, we now move into the major award for the Truck Driver of the Year. It's now time to find out the Supreme New Zealand Champion Truck Driver for 2015. Tonight's winner will receive a cheque for $10,000 and be the holder of the New Zealand Champion Driver of the Year Perpetual Trophy for 12 months. From the pool of over 24,000 truck drivers excelling in the regional heats and company championships to make it to the grand finals here in Christchurch, and tonight become New Zealand's Supreme Truck Driver. And the winner is Regan Brown from H.W. Richardson's Group Freight Hauling. Please welcome Regan to the lectern, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello everyone. I have absolutely nothing prepared. It's quite a bit of a surprise. I guess first of all, thanks very much to the RTF for putting on such a great event for us drivers to showcase what we do on a daily basis. Probably goes very unrecognised. Thank you very much to TR Group for an amazing first prize, quite overwhelming. Thank you very much to the HWR Group for providing the platform for me to be able to come to this event. They provide their own excellent driving competition and supported me all the way through, so thank you very much for that. And probably last, I'd better thank the other half. She can't be here tonight, but she had to put up with quite a few nights of study, theory and driving competition guideline books on the floor of the lounge. But I'm sure she'll be very appreciative of the win, or more so the winnings. So, but you know, to everyone out there, all the other drivers, I mean, what a great bunch of guys, and very high calibre of drivers there. You know, you all deserve a huge round of applause. Very tough competition. Thank you all. And that's probably enough of my babbling, but thank you very much once again to the RTF. Great competition, and long may it continue. Thanks.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, the Champion Truck Drivers Awards for the year 2015. Can you please, once again, put your hands together for the finalists and the winners tonight in that championship competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the Truck Driving Championship Awards. We would like to thank Don and Andrew for their support in this very important part of the evening, but we would also like to bring Don back. I believe he has a few more words to say before he leaves the stage.
Yeah, just on behalf of the forum, Andrew, we've got a small presentation there for you. You know, just for the great support that TR Group and Master Drive have shown to us. So thank you very much.